Nice. Hiya. Oh, that is a bit too high now, isn't it? Okay. Hiya. So, Glass Beach today. Just getting straight in there. Plastic Death. Now, this is a bit of a longer album. I'm hoping to be able to get through all of it. We'll see. Glass Beach, this is their second proper album. They did definitely do a remix album and maybe something else. No, yeah, Alchemist, Rap, Beg, Bashful, which was interesting. The first album had some great songs on it and some that I'm less fond of. This is a pretty crazy album. There's a lot going on and it's 63 minutes, so we'll see what we can do. Oh, 63 in 13. Which means that, well, every track is 3 minutes long. No, that's not true. Is, I guess, what? If it would be, if it was 10 and an hour, it would be 6. So yeah, it doesn't go very nicely. I thought it did. It's a 1 and a 3 and a 1 and a 3. So that's what tricked me there. Anyway, let's have a look.
And we act like artists, like being seen, like artists who do, or like who is honest.
Okay, already in with the unusual time signatures and the unusual harmony. It's not that unusual. We've got these two things repeating while the bass note changes, and it's not a low bass note, but it feels like a bass note for this. Something like that. Let's hear it one more time.
And we act like artists, like being seen, like artists who do, or like who is honest. That's the thing when I get videos for you and the YouTube channel, like.
Yeah. So what have we got there? We've got a C, and then a B and an F sharp up there. The two top notes are actually alternating which order they're played. So the first that goes top, middle, then it goes middle, top. And we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're back with the first one. We've got that twice, and then we got some low Fs. Sorry, not Fs, Cs. As well. Low Cs.
All this temporary artists celebrate as like
And obviously we've also got this voiceover, haven't we? It's not a cleanly recorded thing. It sounds like it's just someone off in a room and someone has decided to record what's going on. So we get this very muddy atmosphere that really contrasts with the piano. The piano is clean as anything, recorded in a studio presumably, and so yeah, we're getting this strange world where the two things are different. Clearly we're not really meant to be listening to the music here. We're more drawn to what the voice is saying. The music is not giving us much of a melody. I guess you could consider the ba 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 a bit of a melody, but really it's just playing background to this monologue.
because it's it's destroyed once it's like done. It's like
Okay,
first off,
a few different extra sounds are coming in. We had the in the left ear. There was just our one held long E note as well in the other ear, and we're getting some different bass notes as well in the piano. So there we had a G sharp going to an A. Even though these notes are changing, we're still getting those two top notes there, the F sharp and the B. So they're holding us in a pedal position. And in fact the melody in the middle's still the same too. Loads of whirring round. They're distracting us somewhat from the voiceover now, which is fading. Yeah. Okay, and this feels like a continuation of what we had before, but now we're more in kind of 6/8 kind of feel. So it's like boom, da, 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 boom. Actually, we might change from that if we keep going. And we're slower.
The ghost rots away.
So we do still have the long 7, but because we're going slower, we feel those triplets a bit more, right? So between the at the beginning, doing that felt really fast, and now because we're going slower, we feel those beats a lot more. So it's not 1 2 1 2, but it's more like 1 and 2 and or 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. So we feel that, and the 7 therefore is much longer, but it is still there. We've also got a more complicated bass part on the piano, doing something like that underneath the other part, which sounds pretty much the same. The melody that's being sung has some similarity to the piano melody there, but it's going with it on the last few notes, ba da da, and then it goes to somewhere else, and here it goes da, all the way up an octave, ba. Yeah, I guess it's down the octave from it, ba da da da, all the way up the octave. We've got that G sharp as well there. So that G sharp really feels quite disrupting to our harmony. We've had these C's, D's and E's. We haven't had anything that says G. So it's not like we were totally expecting a G, though we were, is pretty strong. Instead we get the G sharp and the A. So yeah, what's our scale here if we were going to think about it? We've got C, we've got B, and we've got F sharp. So that's fine. D and E as well. So there's our F sharp, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B. So it's like a Phrygian. If we think of B as our root note, which we can do because it's our tonic here, even though it hasn't actually been the root note, that would say it's a Phrygian with a sharp 6. An interesting scale, very rare scale, and so there's not much to compare it to here. It really feels just quite otherworldly. Okay, we're now settling much more into an equal 3, 4, or well, what would you call it? No, I guess it is still 7, isn't it? We've got a 9/8 section, and then a 12/8 section. So it still feels like it's in 7. It keeps, yeah, it feels very comfortable for a 7. Maybe because we've got it in smaller 3s, so it doesn't feel like a really jarring thing like 7 often does. Okay, the bass has come in here. Bum, 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 bum. On that C. Yeah, also, we have been going back to G here rather than G sharp, so that has softened our scale quite considerably. And G, once it's in the scale, it sort of feels like our home place, especially with going between these C's and G's. It really feels quite comfortable. Okay, that was a D7 chord. So yeah, it's really saying we're in G major now. So that bass just came in for a moment there, let's see. Yeah, it's just there, and then it's gone. And then there's an extra voice doing a counter melody, just for a moment again. So things keep coming in and then coming out. Okay. So the pattern of chords is quite complicated. It doesn't seem to be yet, at least, following a regular pattern. But we've got a few different ones coming up: the C, the G, things to do with the D, some things to do with B minor, and these are coming in and out. What is regular here is the rhythm, always with those things, and the melody is also pretty regular, doing ba da da, and then we go somewhere else. Sometimes we go ba da 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 da, and sometimes we go ba da 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 da. So it's got a very regular rhythm, not such a regular tonality, not such a regular melody line, I guess. The actual pitch of it isn't so regular, although the da 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 does come up quite a lot. Okay. So now a quite fun thing has happened with the texture is quite changed, the melody has come out, or the vocals have come out. We've now got bass and drums emphasizing our second and third beats of each three, so which is fun. The piano's still going. We've got some high guitar harmonics, I think, as well. Yeah, it's interesting that the drums aren't playing on the first beat very much, so they're playing really with the bass and the bass and the hi-hat basically coming in on the second and third beats there, and that leaves this little gap in the first beat, like it's a little bit a little bit anxious maybe. Cool. Yeah, and those guitar harmonics are actually coming on the first beat, so there's a little bit more punch, but because they're up so high, it's such a very different feel of movement to when we have those low bass and drum things, although the drums aren't low, I suppose they're very tinny and high at the moment. Okay, an unexpected record here. Okay, and there's the melody back. We got back to our G sharp. Yeah, that's our strange note there. Yeah, it feels like we go from a very soft working harmony in a diatonic key, and we keep that there while we put in the other note, and then we come out of it. So that extra note, especially that G sharp, is just a poison in the very sweet wine. It's a very soft section here, really, overall. This song is winding us in a sweet way. Okay, we're in 7, but it doesn't feel very abrasive. Most of the harmony doesn't feel very abrasive. None of the textures are abrasive. So it really is just those occasional notes cutting through. It's fun with those that slide all the way up a fifth to that top B. Feels very Beach Boys. The lilting of the melody is quite Brian. Oh, not Brian Adams. Brian Wilson. The drums are doing a lot more here, and they're making the rhythm a bit more funky as well. So we feel a bit less comfortable in our 6, although that is what it is still. And there's a nice synthesizer there, doing more or less an arpeggiated pattern. But overall, everything has grown quite a lot now, hasn't it? We've got regular vocal harmonies. Yeah, so that second part of the melody is really going to new places, even up to a D here. And then we did have a different version. It's not da, 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 anymore for that 3 part. It was da, da, da. So we're moving both parts of those melodies, the da da bit and the da 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 da. So the 2 and the 3, those are moving in pitch to fit the ever evolving harmony. Also, the bass is going crazy now. Can you hear that? Yeah, it's doing like something like that. And yeah, that rhythm does feel much more uncomfortable, but that's it. It's probably just that, you know, when you have 3 beats, 1 2 3 2 2 3, and they're in a 2 like that, 1 2 3 2 2 3, so you actually have 6. You can think of it 1 2 2 2 3 2 as well. 1 2 3 2 2 3 and 1 2 2 2 3 2. And so because you can have that ambiguity, sometimes these time signatures feel very funky and very jumpy, and that is what we've got here. We've also got loads of parts doing slightly different rhythms, so it feels very busy. But still that 3, 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3. Okay, it wasn't until there. So probably we have the 7 still going through there. That's why I was knocked off there. Let's hope. And maybe it was just an irregularity. We got the G sharp just there before we went into this new section. Okay. It's very similar to the first section, really. We've got those bumps coming through occasionally from the bass. We've got the guitar harmonics. It's a softer area. We've got the hi-hat as well. The piano still there, and there's also some vibraphone, I think, or something similar. It doesn't quite sound as full as you would expect a vibraphone, but some kind of tuned metallophone probably. Doing that kind of thing in the right ear. Okay, a slight rowl there. That was nice. Let's say that again. Da, 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 da. Yeah, no, okay. Totally different feel now because we're in 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, except when we're not. So that was 11 beats with the 11th one cut in half. So let's count that again. Here we go. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 1. That's not how it works, but that is right. So if we've got 11 with the last one cut in half, that's 20, not 22 but 21 beat cycle here. Still the harmony isn't doing anything really crazy. We've got definitely some added notes in these chords. So that has got definitely an added 6th in that G chord, and a 9 as well. It feels very placid, so maybe it's just a 6/9 chord. And then yeah, E minor 9 probably. Maybe it has an added 11 too. No, minor 9. I think it's minor 7, but maybe with an added 11 as well. And G and E, very close, very very soft change between those two, and the texture of the instruments is really soft as well. Even the drums are not really, they're not giving us, they're not giving us rock. It's really just a little bit of forward motion, just comfortable. Those vibe sounding things are really sweet, soft. Everything is just quite comfortable to listen to. But the liveliness is really in the drums. They feel a lot more unpredictable than the rest of it. We did have a nice guitar riff there, up in this kind of area. We'll see if that comes back up. The melody's back in now. Is it going to do a similar thing, or is it going to do something different? Presumably something different, because this is a very different set of beats. Although, now I think about it, 21, hey, this is some Tool shit. 21, which we can't count on hands, but if we have 21, let's say it's a 2 and a 1, then we could divide that by 7 into 3. 21 divided by 7 is 3. And that's what we got in the previous section. We got 1, 2, 3, 2, oh no, how, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And then we repeat 21. Now we have 10 times 2 plus 1, 21 as well. But it just feels really different, but we do have the same amount of beats. So potentially they can put the same thing over it in the exact same beat way. It will just sound like a completely different rhythmic idea over this particular part. That's some real maths for you. Okay, well, it's pretty different. Yeah, so the melody is pretty different. It's just doing some very slow moving. It doesn't even really feel synced to the beat so much. Yeah, stepwise lines, mainly stepwise lines. We do have that repeating riff up there, which is just acting in a different octave to most other things. I think the vibes are probably up there, but they're much softer, whereas the guitar is a little more piercing. It still doesn't feel like it's really going hard for your attention though. The drums, however, are ramping up, and really they are the most energetic thing by miles in the accompaniment. Well, okay, the bass is also going for it a bit. Really, the bass, despite it is doing some fast things. Yeah, I guess it is doing that, isn't it? If it's doing that, it's doing sevens, 3 7s in the space. Let's have more of a listen. It's going faster, not quite as fast as the drums, but definitely keeping moving on every beat. And because of that, it's moving it forwards along with the drums really effectively. But it's not doing anything improvised or free form, whereas the drums feel like they are much more comfortable doing an unusual or an unexpected thing. Okay, and now we're in a different section, so never mind if it was doing 7s. Okay. We're back to our G and E minor. Da, 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 da. That da fits very nicely in the G chord, but the da is an added 11th in this chord. So my suspicions about that E minor 7 add 11 were correct. Okay, so yeah, it's just ever evolving. We haven't had any hard shifts. I would say the change in rhythm is the hardest thing we've had here, between the 3s at the beginning and the mainly 2s in the next section. That is the hardest change we've had, but even then the texture didn't suddenly meld into something else. All these relatively soft shifts make the complexity more palatable. I really like that. Okay, but now suddenly the melody came higher, came stronger, and then build. We've got some amazing arpeggios. Probably that. Could be that. So that would say we've definitely got a C at the bottom of this. So that's an F sharp. So we're looking at a C with an added sharp 11 and a 7. So C major 7 add sharp 11. That is presumably got a 9 as well. Yeah. What a fun chord. Yeah, basically the guitar arpeggio over the top is just doing something that it doesn't include the C at the bottom, unless no, it could put it there, but that would be a bit weird. I don't think it is doing that. Okay, but now they do match. So before on that C they didn't really match, and now that it's gone to B minor, it's just a B minor arpeggio as far as I can tell. Very nice. So we've got a clash that then resolves into quite a surprising place. B minor has come up in this song before, but it's never been the sort of tonal centre, but now it does really feel like the tonal centre. And everything's just going crazy. Yeah. So are we now dividing each of those threes into... No. So we've gone to much faster triplets, but I think the overall arching beat is more or less the same. Okay. There's our G sharp. But it feels much more like a natural E tonality here. E major tonality. Well, I say that. Let me just have another listen. There's definitely an E in there. What is that arpeggio? Let's work that out. It's definitely got still the F sharp in it. And the D. Yeah. Something like that. So that's just saying E9, which is using mostly the notes we already had in the key and just with that added G sharp. So it doesn't actually feel as strange as it did before when we really had the clash between G sharp and the yeah, those two, C and D. Yeah, it doesn't quite feel as clashy as that. Yeah, so this is a recapitulation of what we had at the beginning, and we've got a threes back, da 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 da. But each of those, no, we've got threes going against those threes, going against each two of those threes. So I guess it's like, so if there's the three, yeah. So those are the two rhythms we've got, and then we've got the threes going with the twos. Whoo! I didn't know I could do that. Great, that's very cool. Very, very polyrhythmic feel then. Got loads of things going at different, with rhythmic density. That's a term I just made up. We've got the ba-da-da-da-da back from the beginning. That's the main thing that is saying we're back at the beginning, but also the harmony is pretty similar too. And there's our G chord. It's so big. We've got constant crashes on each main beat. And bass drum on every beat, more or less, as well. The drums are really dominating still. Yeah. Okay. There's actually a quite unusual, unexpected harmony there, which is a B major chord. I don't think we've come across that before in this song. Ooh, that D sharp. Okay, and we're back to our C. And we've got some deeper kind of voice harmony, I think. There's the B. It is really like a B and a B minor at the same time. I can't work out exactly where the sharp D is in there, but it definitely feels like it's in there somewhere. It feels very abrasive. Let me just have another listen, because that time it didn't sound too bad. There's definitely something in the left ear which is going brah, just for that first beat, and then it does disappear somewhat. Okay, so let's count these. That's very fun. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, yeah, okay. From that bad counting, I think what we've got is 1, 2, 3, chord, 1, 2, 3, chord, 1, 2, 3, chord, 1 chord. So it comes halfway through that last 3 as an extra one, and the chord is basically our C major 7, C major sharp 11, with that added 9 in as well, I think. Here we come. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, up, 1, 2, 3. So what's screwing me up is I'm just bad at counting that 7. Let's try it again. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not one on the last one. And then a low C just driving us out on that synthesizer. Yeah, really lovely change to the end, because everything else has been so constantly moving, building, and then this just stops that rhythm. Bah! We're just having these rhythms, bah! Just having these beats, these sharp shocks, and with that one which is so off the beat on that 7th set of 3, it really feels like a and then there's nothing to signal the first beat of the next bar, so it really is disorienting, exciting. It's a big chord, powerful clashes, and also powerful consonances in it. So yeah, some really cool ending there. I probably spent way too long talking about that. Yeah, there's no chance I'm going to get through this whole thing in 2 hours, but we'll give it our best shot. Oh, and one last one there. I'm not going to count whether that was in time. I'm just not. Motions. Okay, this feels very in 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, and I think that probably does stay in 4, but yeah, drum intro constantly on those quavers, and the snare drum, something like that. Let's hear it one more time. Yeah, so The first bar is basically really, really straightforward. We're just going ba 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 da ba ba da da, and then the next one ba ba ga dum ba. Let's hear it again. Yeah, ba ba ga da ga dum ba ga da ga dum. Ba 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 da ga dum ba ga da ga dum. So we're putting in an extra snare each 2 beats. So we still got that one on the second beat, 1 and 2, and up. We also get one on the straight before the third beat, and the straight before the first beat of the next bar. So we're ramping up in that. Okay, this is for it has the appearance of a 7 because we're going on that next bit, but that is all within the context of 4. We're leaving the right amount of gap to make sure that it does that. If it went then it would be in 6, I think, and 7 would be a bit bigger gap than that. Leave me alone. I'm only human, and I'm trying to do this, stuff which obviously these guys have practiced to within an inch of its life. So the bass is on bar, the low E, not that low actually, maybe it is. Well, it's definitely got some deep resonance to it, but doesn't sound like that really low one there. And the guitar chord has a C sharp in it. It's not just. Do we have an A in there? No, it's just those with that. So we're looking at like an E6 chord here. We haven't got every note for that, so you could consider it a C sharp minor with an E in the bass. But to start a piece, you wouldn't normally start in first inversion. It would normally be assumed that what this is, from the sound of it as well, we just root it around the E. It's an E6 chord. And then yeah, we've got that. So it's a nice alternation between the chords in that rhythm, more or less, and then the ba-da-da, just a little bit of melody line, a little bit of, I guess, riff. There is another thing just holding down this as well, not playing that ba-da-da. Okay, so the drums now aren't really doing the same thing as they were doing before. There's still a ba-da-da-da-da-da-da rhythm, but we're sort of eschewing the ba-da-ga-da-ga-da in the first 2 beats of the second bar for a more lugubrious fill in the third and fourth. There's more going on here. There's loads of bit parts, but the main part is something like this. Let's hear it one more time. Really consonant, lovely melody. Sort of saying, well, let's say we're in B major. That's what we've got there. The bass is moving in a slinky way, which prohibits us saying this is a B chord, absolutely, but yeah. And then we're back to our E6 chord, with an F sharp and the melody. The drums have somewhat calmed down here. We don't have any loud cymbals, we just have some closed hi-hat. So that's nice, getting out of the way of the vocals to some degree. There's some clearly synthy strings going on in the background too. Alternating with the vocals, aren't they? And then we've got our melody back in from the guitar, and the bass is going along with it as well. Yeah, the bass is doing something like that, and it's playing more or less in the same rhythm as the higher guitar melody. Okay, very different section here. Very different section here, but the drums have actually gone back to their first rhythm, which is interesting. Maybe with a bit more ride cymbal, but it feels more like more structured, maybe, in this section. Feels like we're going through a proper chord sequence, and let's hear it one more time. So this has got a J-pop kind of feel to it. You know, I really don't know what it is that does that. Whether it's sort of jazz-influenced harmony, or the regularity of it. Maybe both of these things. Na 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 na. Maybe because that's on a major seventh of that chord. Na 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 na. Maybe it's a specific sequences. I haven't worked it out, but there is something that feels really specifically Japanese about these particular sequences, at least at this time in history to me. So whether or not you agree with that is your own prerogative. I would be interested to hear if you did agree with it, though. And the guitars are doing their own melodies, which are totally different to the main melody from the vocals, which is a pretty staid melody overall. Simple melody, whereas the guitars are moving much more commonly and much more fluidly, I guess. Okay, so we had a coda on that section which was very different to what had happened the first time. Let's call that the chorus. We then had basically a double chorus because we had all the same melody bits as the first bit, but we lopped off the end the second time it came around and we put on a different ending. So that's what the coda would be there. I'm not going to go over what is going on there. It sounds complicated. And we're back to our verse section, if you like. But now the melody is going much harder. Okay, we're not on the F sharp this time, we're on the C sharp, and we go da 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 da, jump up the octave and then back down. Really fun. There's a bit of a slide too. Okay. Sudden whoosh of extra guitars coming in there, maybe extra synth, as we go to. But then we go straight back, so we go to that D just for a moment there, and then straight back to our E chord. Very strange sudden bit added in. So we've got the guitar melody here, but the bass is actually doing what we would expect from the first section. So this is a mashup section. The parts aren't behaving together in the same way as they have done previously. Also, we've got this really skittery, maybe it's stopped now, but we had this really skittery drum part. Yeah, it feels like there's something that then gets taken over by the hi-hat that isn't the hi-hat first, with a very woody kind of sound. Interesting. And we've still got little parts just jumping out. Okay. The melody is on the guitar and the voice. They're doing the same an octave apart. Which is that. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So are we in 6 now? I don't know. Let's hear it one more time, try and work it out. Oh, were we always G's. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. We certainly are there. Let's just check the beginning again. 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, we weren't. So there, it's in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've taken out one of the sets of. So now it goes. So we've taken out one of those, so we're a beat short, basically. 2 beats short. Okay, and this is our chorus section. Sounds pretty similar to before, maybe a little more full. And there's our coda on it as well. I'm so sick of. Yeah, that's that added D again that we got suddenly in the other section. So sick of, which is the only really, the main thing that doesn't fit with our key center here is that D that's sometimes coming up. But it's not too abrasive, so it feels almost acceptable in a pop vein here. Okay, very distorted sound on everything here. Very punk. More screams, more. Okay, and now we've gone somewhere that is more unexpected. So, from this lovely E chord with an F sharp and a C sharp in it, now we've gone to C. This is very different place. And we were building into that with repetitions of the same kind of rhythm that we've had before, but the texture dissipated, totally removed the comfortable things we were familiar with and put in these much more distorted sounds. Then we had like a rain of synths, and then suddenly we're in with this new section. Ba-da-da is what we used to get in, which we're familiar with. Ba-da-da. But then it goes to our new, so go to F sharp there. Yeah, okay, so it goes to F sharp, but we've got a C chord, so we've got that already as a very big dissonance there, the F sharp and the C tritone, lovely. But yeah, we're in a totally different place. Oh, that's pretty good. Let's hear it one more time so I can get all of that. There's our G chord, F sharp major with an F8. Yeah, so we get F sharp major with an A sharp, and then the A sharp becomes the bass. We've still got that little bit of melody line there, and then we go to a B chord, but the melody line changes up just to make it slightly more clashy than if it stayed in the same place, maybe to ramp up the tension, moving it higher. And then we get a bass note of D, moving that chord again forwards, still a B minor chord, but moving forwards, and then we fall back to the C. Yeah, really nice. Actually, I'm not sure if that is a B minor. It doesn't feel like the whole chord is there, so you could consider it a D major. Especially with just those two being the main notes there. Yeah, really powerful. The one unifying thing here, really. I mean, da 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 is sort of like our ba da 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 thing that we've had before. But the drums are really keeping that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 thing going. It's slightly different. It's more of a ba bra ba da bra, but it still has that backbeat, that 2 and 4 really emphasised in this section as well. Ba 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 ba. We're much more on the beat than we were before. It's really pushing forward. Okay. These guys are not making fast, quick, on-the-spot analysis their priority, and that's fine. So just give me a bit more time to work out what's going on here. But it felt like after that D, we went to the F sharp. Maybe let's just hear that again. Okay, so it's actually, we're going to the E, probably E minor, with an F sharp coming through, boom, and then an F sharp, with an F sharp coming through, and a G, with an F sharp coming through, an A, and an F sharp coming through. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm getting called, but I am on stream, I won't pick up. Yeah. Yeah, so not to A, but to A sharp. So that's in keeping with this. Well, let's call it F sharp Phrygian. It's really just leading to us towards B minor again. Or it was, but we've gone kooky crazy here. There's our A sharp. Then we go down to A. Still with an F sharp in there. B with an F sharp. And there's our C, still with the F sharp. Okay, and now we're back to the beginning. All of a sudden. With some very clever rhythmic changes up there. Okay, so the first one I think was so that's our 8. Then we got and then our third one is just one of those, and then we get I think let's just hear it again. Oh yeah, no, it removes even one of those. So we get yeah, I think that would be 7s. No, it's just 6s. Yeah, something like. Can't quite work out the end, but the thing has moved on to the next track, so there we must leave it. What to say about these so far? These have been very different feeling songs. I have had some unifying math rock elements, right? So sudden changes of rhythm have come fairly often. More subtle changes of rhythm than you might expect in a normal math rock thing. That ending accepted, because that is much more. We are just changing that bit here. But even there, they've got the same chord and the same pattern to comfort you even through the strange changes. All right, let's move on. Yeah, we're doing okay on that one. Slip Under the Door. Okay. Oh gosh, my memory today is not so good. Yeah. Gosh, what is going wrong with me? Yeah, okay. So we got two patterns. One is ba-dum, and then that goes up, ba-dum, and then the other is going down by a third, back up, and then down by a third again. Okay, so two patterns moving in the opposite direction. They're not quite the same, but they're moving by the same amount. So if we follow these patterns through, yeah, they overlap each other. It sounds like that, which I think is quite a nice thing. I quite like patterns in music, and that's a good one. There are other notes in there as well, but let's not spend too much time on those. But we didn't actually get any further with those patterns, which is a shame. But we've got a C add 9 there, without an E actually. Okay, I'm back to the thing again. Yeah. Okay. The atmosphere here is a strange one. The guitar feels close, but it's also very muddy. It's, you know, let's say poorly recorded. That's not really what I mean, though. I mean, just it has a lot of extra noise on the recording. And then it feels like it's still within this quite big space, even though that is really, really close to us. And we can hear mainly that, but there's also this big space behind it. Now we've got some digga things coming in the atmosphere as well. Yeah, harmony wise, we've had G sharp, F sharp. It kind of suggests we're in B because of those, but then we do also have a C. So overall these don't work in the same key, but if our whole scale, we don't have any false relations, so our scale is basically that, which is actually the same scale as we had on the first track, and it's in the same key. So we're looking at B Phrygian sharp sixth. Yeah, it's interesting. Just filling out with some wind sounds there, but now, yeah, it has suddenly changed. Okay. So from this, no, thought it was that, but it's not quite. Yeah. So we go from that to that F7 chord, and then, yeah, the drums really giving us triplets again. Jazz break. Okay. Entirely different now, all of a sudden. We're in B. We are in B. We kind of knew we were in B before, but now we've got some heavy, fuzzed out guitars on the bass and the drum. So bass and the guitar. They're both locked in, just really doing those chords on the beat, while we have other strange noises in the atmosphere coming through. I think are the main notes coming through there, A and G. So we've got rid of that G sharp, and now we're on the G. So they're darker as well. So it's going. It's quite a regular beat, very, very heavy though. Okay, and a sudden change again. And back again. So very sweet drum-led bit there, and then yeah, a complete contrast. That's what we're going for here. Screams, proper screams. To the E and the G there, but they're still in our key, so nothing shocking there. We build, and sudden dropped. Just one note, the F sharp. Okay. Gautier has entered the building. Yeah, something something around B minor. It sounds not quite like a guitar. Maybe it is like a tenor ukulele or something. Yeah, it's quite a good bit actually. Something like that. So it's going between B minor 9 chord and G chord. Okay, and this is our softer drum-led kind of thing again, but now the bass is also going. It's a different feel, but the hi-hat is the main thing unifying those two things. And the melody is, again, really slow. We don't go in for very fast changeable melodies with this band. It's occupying a high range, but it's very soft. Okay, this section has changed. We haven't got so much of the hi-hat. We've got another synthesizer making some sounds. It might actually just be a pitched up guitar. It's in the right ear. Let's hear that again. And the harmony has changed too, but we're still more or less around we're still more or less around B, but we did just get the D sharp there. So that's a different kind of tonality. Yeah, we're playing around with those kinds of things. It's complex. You know, I know I'm not doing the most detailed version I could on this. I think probably what is worth doing is, if it really sits with me and continues to be wonderful in my brain, I will do a more detailed thing past 2024, when I will really look at it in depth, and that will last much longer. But for now, it's not worth it. Okay, and the bass is now copying the ba ba ba. Oh, a fun little bit there with a bit of Phrygian harmony back again, because this part doesn't really feel Phrygian. It feels just normal minor. Until it doesn't. It's quite a fun groove though. We haven't had many sections where we've been holding very similarly for a while, and this feels actually maybe like the longest one in all of these three things, which is holding on this particular thing. No doubt we're going to bring those strong guitars in again later, but let's forget about those while we're enjoying ourselves on the slinky groove. I really like that. So okay, so it was doing it there. It has changed in this new bit, but the drums emphasizing the 3 and. So we go 1, 2, 3 and it's got the snare on that one. That's quite an unusual thing. I don't think it's happened in this piece yet. But now it's back on the 3. Okay, and it's back now. Back. Oh, wait. No, that's on the 2 and. It probably was on the 2 and before as well. Sorry about that. But yeah, this. That's an E minor chord, but we've got. That melody line, which only plays very briefly on one of the notes in that key. Much more commonly on the 9 there, the F sharp, and the C sharp, which is a major 6th of that chord. And more G harmony there. The drums, like in the other track, are really free. The fills come thick and fast. Every other part feels like it is programmed, or at least very, very deliberately done. I guess the melody maybe is a bit free as well, just because the rhythm of it is not so clear. It fits with the rest of the stuff by proxy rather than by deliberation, maybe. Okay. Suddenly in 3s, mainly 3s. Ba-ta-ta, 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 ba-ta-ta. Yeah. 4 threes and then 2 twos. So what does that equal? What does that equal? 12, 16. It's 16, but we've got it in 3 sets of 3 and 2 sets of 2. Sorry, 4 sets of 3 and 2 sets of 2. So overall, we're equaling 16, which means we're still staying in 4 the long time, but it is separated in a very different way. And there's nothing deviating from that. Everything is going with the 3, so it does really feel like a rhythmic change, even though we're keeping the same amount of beats overall. Similar to coelacanth. Nice C sharp in that one. No, sorry, G sharp. Doesn't feel like there's a third in there though, which is fun. Yeah, there's a C sharp. There is a C sharp, which is the 9th, and there's a G sharp, which is the 6th, and we're on a B chord, but we don't have a D to say that it's a B minor chord. We know it should be, but it's not there, so it's sort of giving us anxiety. It's going, huh? What is it? I don't know. And there's a G, more G tonality here. So the G sharp. Oh. We weren't expecting to use a B sharp anytime soon, but that is what we've got here basically. F sharp tonality with a B sharp on it, the sharp 11. Very strange. I mean, you could maybe think of that as a C going down to a B, which has been our tonal center in general, but well, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like we builded on this G sharp chord just before, with G sharp with an F sharp in the bass, G sharp major. So yeah, so it doesn't feel like it is going towards the B at all. It feels like it's going somewhere totally different. But then it does. And yeah, it's an interesting one. I sort of, you know, I foresaw it. You know I did. But because the F sharp here doesn't really have much dominant function, we don't expect it to go there. We would maybe expect it to go to C sharp minor instead, but it doesn't. It goes to B minor. And we sort of knew it would, but because we're playing fast and loose with what's in our harmonic palette, that became both expected and unexpected. The atmosphere here is now super open, isn't it? We've not got much rhythm going on, but nonetheless everything is together when it comes, which suggests that there is an underlying ba da 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 da, and if you want to count it anally, go ahead. Okay, but now we've got da da 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is actually definitely going to happen. That's the same thing as we were getting when we had the super heavy guitars, but now we've got some much softer ones. Okay, and we go into a nice funky groove first. And there's our G. Now, oh, I think this is new. Yeah, we're back to our 3s and 2s. Yeah, and we've got a G, which then G sharp, which straight away goes back to G, and some C tonality as well. So this is a kind of classic Radiohead thing to do, of keeping some pedal in the riff while moving another part. So we have something holding us together while the harmony shifts all around that. Okay, so we aren't in just 3s and 2s here. We are in 3s and 2s, but it's not the same as we had before. We are not working to a 16 here. I think we're working to a 14. Yeah. There's another horrible scream. Okay, this is funny because this section doesn't sound nearly as big as the previous section, even though we've got our heavy guitars back. It built up towards that, didn't it? Everything built up, and then yeah, I don't know what it's missing. It's doing that kind of thing in 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, with 3s going across that. Yeah, however they can do that. Chromatic scale with some slight differences. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it does work. Yeah, so it would take me a long time to work out exactly what's going on there, especially because the parts don't match. But now we've ended on another C major 9 chord. And the harmony is almost getting buried under the noise, isn't it? But it's still there. So yeah, it's what we had at the beginning, followed by a really soft C chord. Yeah, it's exactly what we had at the beginning. Maybe played in a slightly different way, and definitely with more of an aggressive edge from those whirring synthesizer noises over the top. And a sudden blast beat just towards the end. Why not? Guitar song. Okay, you're about guitar. You're 2 minutes and a half. You'll be fine. That's a joke, isn't it? That's so simple. It's C with... No, sorry. Oh, why do I say just the wrong thing sometimes? It's A with a C sharp and then going to D with a C sharp 2. But the C sharp is at the top, so it's D major 7. And then it just goes back. And we've got 3 chords. 1, A on C sharp, D major 7, off. And then that off takes the place of another chord, and then we go backwards and we have another off in the same place. Okay? Okay, you got me. This is something weird. Let me just check I've done that. Why can I not hear? It does go back, but we go back to B instead. Now, we're now going to do something I can't do on my guitar with no capo. Presumably we've got a capo at the 2nd fret. We do this. So we have this A major chord here, and we have B in the bass. I think that's what it is, so that, yeah. Yeah, and then we just miss out one at the end there. Boom. Really? Does it go down to an E? Ah! No, it doesn't. It goes down to F. Okay, so we're working on the assumption that we've got a capo at the 2nd fret because we don't go down to that low E. If we did, that might mean that we had a different tuning, but as it is, capo at this fret works, and all that we're doing is doing a major chord with different bass notes. And that last one, bum, 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 doesn't do this, where we would pause afterwards. Instead, we start the thing again. So we miss out a bar there, basically, a bar of 2. If we're thinking 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, we miss out a bar like that. Very soft drums behind the guitars. The guitars are doubled in both ears. And we do have some bass, I think, but it's playing in the same octave as the bass. And the vocal melody is taking the same breaks as the guitar, but just a little bit later. So the guitar goes ba-da-da-da off, and the red light just comes off maybe a beat later. Very different section now, isn't it? Much more melody led. Still got those guitars. There are acoustic guitars as well, which should be noted. We did have some acoustic guitars in the previous track as well, but here they're much clearer and very sweet sounding as well. You know, the actual clarity of the chording, especially compared to the previous one, is very satisfying, even if I think it's a little bit twee. The main thing here, though, is that we've got the melody still keeping the same rhythm, more or less, but the rhythm accompanying it from the guitars is not there. It's not happening. Well, okay. It's happening very softly in the left ear, so softly that I can't quite make out which notes are being played, and it's not always happening, but we do still have the ba-da-da-da going on a little bit. Yeah, much more melody led. Going up to the D again, really high falsetto notes. Well, not really high, but very high. And now we're back to our first section again. So yeah, very sweet, I guess Beach Boys influenced. It's not probably as complicated as a Beach Boys song would go harmonically, but yeah, it feels like that kind of sweet, dreamy, happy music. This section was mainly different because we had a woo woo thing going on in the left ear of a synthesizer, very soft kind of bubbly synthesizer sound. Okay, so similar kind of thing that happened on the previous track here. We are keeping the main beat, ba da da, but instead of splitting that into 4, ba da 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 ga da ga da ga da, we're splitting it into 3, ba da ga da da ga da da ga. Okay, the beat remains the same, but the divisions are different. The meter is different, which is fun. We're still playing the same chords as well, so interesting. Yeah, same skip there as well. maybe slightly more busy vocal, at least in terms of words. Is there a okay. I don't know. I don't know if these numbers are relevant. I can't see that they are. But there's always a chance there's something there. I don't know. And here's our chorus section again, which is more based around an F sharp minor tonality. We do still have the A, but we come to the F sharp each time. Slightly more. Yeah, I think we had an E minor 7 there. So a few more complexities in the harmony just at the end of each of those choruses, along with C sharp 7 chord, which leads to the F sharp minor. So a perfect cadence into the relative minor comes in both of those. But yeah, much sweeter song. Okay, and we've got a coda here. Really led by both guitars, doing slightly different fingerstyle patterns in both ears. And yeah, finishing back on our A. It feels like having two high notes, like, and then doing something like that. Obviously with the capo still down here. Yeah, it's quite nice. It definitely doesn't have the ambition of the others, but it's still playing with musical ideas, and it's still playing with rhythm. It's still, to some degree, playing with harmony. The melody, yeah, I would say the melodies on all of these tracks are the least inventive things and the least ambitious things. Coelacanth did have its moments, and we do have sudden octave jumps being something that comes relatively often, or big jumps anyway. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, overall they're much more pleasant, with a grimace, than the general feeling of the album, which is much more geared towards experimentation. Okay, probably the last one now. Maybe the last one. Depends how long it takes. I would like to get another done. Okay. So we've got some birds. Rare animals. Birds. Rare animals. And we've got a lower guitar, which could be a bass, but I think it's not that low. And two other guitars, giving a kind of Robert Fripp feeling of just existing with these solid notes that show no sign of waning in their resonance, and then they're just sliding to different places. It's a little bit of a complicated movement. I don't think they're aiming for specific chords together, so I'm not going to have a look at it right now, but it's a cool sound. Okay, got more or less an E major tonality here. Okay, we're in for ba da da ga da 2 3 4 but to get to go down to get it down, with a very very syncopated riff. Yeah, something like that, which is not too complicated. We've got let ring going on this guitar, so all of these notes, unless we play another note on the same string, they're all carrying on into the next chord, which is nice. We've got these two notes acting as our pedal again, while the other notes go elsewhere. The drums are playing pretty soft again. And And we've got an emphasis on that last beat of the bar, so on 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, which is interesting. And I guess there's a bit of an emphasis on the 2 and as well, so 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1. Okay, another guitar has come in. I should have said probably. But yeah, we've got sort of B, C and F sharp here, so we're playing a bit loosely with harmony. Overall it's still saying E, but we've got a B more or less in the bass, so second inversion E, and then we also get F sharps in the bass, so yeah. And there's a G, no sorry, an A. Is it something like that? There's a B, no sorry, A, B, F sharp, B, A. Okay. So this is the same pattern though. Yeah, no, it is just a four bar thing. So A, B, F sharp, B again, then back to A. And with a little C there, cheekily. The C is what's unusual about this harmony, but it's only there for a brief moment, so really we're looking at E major with some odd bass notes. Yeah. So it's all focused around this chord progression, or this bass progression. We've still got a bit of E going on most of the time, but if we think about these as chords, B major, well, so A major with a major 7 maybe, B with a 6 maybe, F sharp minor with a slight hint of C, but realistically it's got a C sharp in it, and then back to B. Harmonic rhythm's pretty fast as well, moving between those chords quite fast. We've got more open hi-hat in this section. Okay, but yeah, the drums really do control the section's feel quite a lot, whether they're playing with these higher cymbal sounds or whether they're playing as they are at the moment on mainly the low drums, the toms and the snare a little bit. It makes a big difference. The guitars don't make too much difference. They're still focused around the same chord sequences, and the textures of those guitars aren't changing. Overall texture is changing a bit, so higher guitars appear, they do slightly different things. All the guitars do slightly different things. But yeah, it's really the drums which control the feeling of the section. Okay, sudden just bit of distortion there, which is nice. Just adds some excitement. This is a more moving melody than what we've had up to here, I suppose. Da 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 da. Yeah, it's quite nice. Okay, open hi-hat again. And the bass is now quite clear. It sounds quite biting. It's got some high frequency to it. And that high guitar kind of mainly doing arpeggiated things. Okay. So we still got this beat in the background. And we're kept in time only by the vocals. First time that's happened in this album, so that's an interesting thing of this song. But the harmony also, for the first time, actually went to that E chord proper. And of course, because we got that comfort, we now have to ruin it and do something slightly different. Sorry I ruined the pause there, but we did have a big old pause. Thinking about you. E. We did something strange with the harmony before that. Thinking about you. And then pause. Thinking about you. Suddenly jumping up the octave. And we're back to our chord progression we had before. But the texture is thick as hell. Because of those crash cymbals. And the melody is so high. All the way up to that C sharp, but with more tone to it. Actually, I might have falsettoed the C sharp, but it feels right on the edge of both of those voices. So this feels very like the songs I liked on the previous album. Okay, there's our E. Comfort. And we've got that contrapuntal thing with the shouted group vocals coming in. So he goes down, down, shouting out those notes in the background, taking it in turns to be the main melody. Nice. Yeah. There's an unexpected one of those in there. What's that, a G? Yeah, we wouldn't expect it. It's there. Okay, and we're coming out now into a different section, still with that very punchy bass, but around a F sharp. Really, the bass and drums now are the main carrying on things. The guitars seem to be taking a backseat. Just playing a little bit in the background. Some hocketing. Did I hear that right? Did I hear that right? Kind of. About you. Yeah. Okay, so F sharp to G sharp. And yeah, so our general rhythm is still 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, ba, da, 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 da. But we have some fives there, I think. Yeah, it's 5 notes. Whether or not they are actually in perfect fives across that 4, I don't know. I don't have the wherewithal to count 4s against 5s, sadly. It does feel pretty much it. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's very close. Whether or not they're equal is another thing I don't quite have the wherewithal to deal with. I can't tell whether the 5s are equal when I do it myself. I can't do it when other people do it either. But it sounds pretty good. So there's our G sharp chord again. Yeah. And it's quite nice that the unusualness is kind of kept for that moment. Yeah, it's something like that, isn't it? It's a G chord out of nowhere before we fall down to the F sharp. It's quite nice that we just have that moment. And then the rest is very soft and quite nice. Yeah, nice groove again, like we had on Slip Under the Door for a bit. Okay, and we're building. And we're in a different place. We're on A again now. It's so much bigger all of a sudden. There's a C sharp chord. What's that? Oh, it's not a C sharp chord. But that's an A minor, which we're not expecting. We were expecting A major. That's our E minor. So yeah, from the from before we got to this F sharp and D sharp bit, suddenly we have changed quite dark. We're changing to the minor. We were always around these major chords. Well, okay, we had the F sharp minor all the time. The F sharp minor is a pretty bright minor chord in the context, but then the A minor and the E minor are really darkening. Anyway, we've come back to the F sharp, and we're still loud, still full on. Well, not full on, about 75% on. Yeah, and this is our final section. It's going to take us out. Yeah, interesting that just before we finished there, it went to just one guitar, didn't it? So we got ba-ba from loads of things, and then ba-da-da just from one guitar. A strange idea to suddenly end it like that, but I might well come to enjoy it. It's kooky, it's unusual, and it's, yeah, I guess characteristic of their style of music. That one really did feel much more like the songs from the previous album, I would say, at least to me, especially my favourite, which is Bedroom Community. So yeah, big thumbs up from me. Yeah, I would say these songs overall are not quite as ambitious as those songs. They're not quite as wacky, but maybe they're more well put together. Whether or not they are better because of that is up to whoever wants to judge it. For me, I would say they're not quite as good, but they're still very interesting, definitely very interesting. Let's have a look at this last one then, Cul-de-sac. Okay. So we're back on one of our favourite chords. G, so I think it was a G as well. G major 7 with a sharp 11 on an acoustic guitar, just for our beginning. Snare on every beat here, so we're really driving forwards, and we get those doubles, don't we? Bada 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 bada, which is really a cool feel, very punchy and forward moving. Okay, and that chord was really just to get us into our main tonality of F sharp major. But of course, who has a general tonality here? That's one of my favourite chord changes there, and it only goes weirder from that. I guess it's that. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Great. Well, it goes round. So F sharp, quite nicely F sharp major, some kind of E9, F sharp, F minor 7 probably, to A major 7, to D major 7, to G major 7 with a sharp 11, and then we're back again. Cul-de-sac. Yeah, because this chord, where else could you go from it? Well, okay, you could back out, but it's really driving you only to your home. F sharp. There's our E9. Yeah, there's our weird one, so... Okay, it's not an F sharp, F minor 7 chord. But we do have that in the bass. Okay. So it's more like a C sharp chord with an E sharp in the bass. We do also have an F sharp at the top there. So like a C sharp going there. Does that work? Let's hear it. And then, yeah, that's more like it, isn't it? Okay, so we've got a load of major chords, some more extended than others, all quite far related from each other, at least in the grander scheme. Like we do have a few that are quite close. A is close to D, D is close to G, we've got so much flying around, and we're doing a little bit of a circle of fifths there, that it really doesn't feel like we're staying in the same tonality, even between chords that are close to each other. The texture is very full, isn't it? We've got chorusy guitars all over the place. Got quite hissy, cymbally drums. And and those snare rolls are also quite high pitched. Maybe there's a recording of the bottom of the snare going on to make it a little more rattly sounding. And there's some synthesized piano kind of sounds as well. And now we're in a new section. Yeah, everything's moving down together, but in quite strange ways. I think it's that from the bass, while we have... Okay, that's the same note, and maybe it's not that. That's pretty much it. So yeah, they're both moving down, but moving down in sevenths, which is pretty weird. And not quite the same there, but do we end on that? Ah, confounding. Yeah, on an A6 chord.
Every single day.
And then we're of course somewhere else. Da, 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 da. I think so. That would be an A flat chord, A flat minor, and G flat. No, sorry, in B flat minor. No. Okay, let's go again. Yeah, something like that. So we're much more prolific in our added extended chords, moving really quickly through harmonic centers. It doesn't ever feel atonal. It doesn't feel like we're really absent from tonality, but we are just moving, constantly shifting through. This kind of music drives me crazy. I have a real problem with music that will not commit to a tonal center. I find them disorienting. That said, I'm basically okay with this so far, but we are just constantly moving. Anyway. You know, considering we are totally moving, the melody is occupying more or less a tonal center. If we just look at it on its own. Yeah, so all those notes are in the F sharp major scale. So the melody, even with that kind of unusual jump there, it's not giving us anything near the complexity and confusion of the surrounding instruments. It's giving us something quite sweet and simple to hold on to. Well, not as simple as some of the other melodies that we've had here. It's moving and it's jumping around, but it's keeping to the same key. Everything now is pointing towards the same kind of sweetness that we had on Motions on that chorus section, which felt to me like Japanese music. We're getting a similar kind of feeling here, but maybe not quite as as generic. What's annoying is I can hear repetitions in the harmony, but it would kill me to try and work it out now, and I'm not going to. Okay, and now we've settled. Man, on an E flat minor 7 chord, and we're clearly moving somewhere else. This doesn't feel the same. The melody has gone from being sung quite soft and parlando to man. Suddenly we've got more tone to it. Everything else seems to have more tone too. Let's see what carries on. Okay. Yeah, so simplifying the harmony. The melody is singing the 7th of this chord and the 7th of this one. So that's fun. Chords are quite closely related, so it doesn't feel at all like the previous section from that perspective. We've got a crazy guitar riff going over the top as well, which sounds really cool. Overall, there's not that much moving. The drums are pretty sparse. Yeah, I think we went down to that G sharp minor or A flat minor chord for a moment there. And then we're back to this beat. Okay. So we are still going to unusual places with the harmony, but it's taking more time about it, and those changes are more plottable. And again, still the melody has not deviated from the F sharp major key. Yeah, that riff over the top feels very 2000s, like a post-hardcore or pop rock kind of feel to it. In fact, the harmony is too most of the time, apart from things like that, which you would just never get. Yeah, suddenly going to an E flat major chord with a G, and then going to an A flat minor. Bringing us back to where we were before. Yeah, so there is some real plotting to this. I feel at times the chords become more important than the context that they're in, and they take up too much space. But I don't think that happens that often, and I don't think it's that they're playing chords just for the sake of playing chords. I think that they're planned to fit with what's going on. But for me, at the moment at least, without that much, I've listened to this I think 3 or 4 times, without that much familiarity with it, it does feel more intense than anything else going on around it. So let's listen to this verse section again, where we've got super fast chord changes. Oh. Well, we didn't have much of it. Instead we've got some bass. Let's just check that again. Okay. So that's not too complicated. It's actually a bit similar to what we had on Rare Animal. I think I think it was Rare Animal, where we had some stuff between F sharp and E in the bass. Yeah, it feels kind of similar. Okay, still going a bit strange, and we had an A there, which in this place is, I guess, F sharp major. We would expect an A sharp, but we've got an A, so there's still some strangeness going on. Yeah. But overall the chord sequence is not as complicated. It's basically that. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm getting it. Okay. Yeah, I'll come back to it. Anyway, we're back into probably our chorus section. But what a strange texture change. We've just got the vocals and some, crisp packets? No, it's a guitar. It's a guitar, but it's a guitar that's put through such a strange filter. It's so high-pitched that it sounds more percussive than pitched. Maybe there's two things going on there, because I can't believe that's all the guitar saying. Yeah, if that is just guitar, that is so heavy on the strum and barely any noise getting through. But I think it's probably a clap or something like that. Yeah, clap sounds about right. So we've got everything coming back in here. Feels very warm actually, this bit. It feels like we've got more bass overall frequencies, more lower frequencies. That guitar riff is still going crazy in the high bit though. We've got another of these long melodies. Long held notes. Yeah, and we're going somewhere again. Have we been here before? I can't remember. There's our B. Okay. So that's our G major 7 that we had right at the beginning. So is that going to lead us back into the beginning section? Well, we've got F sharp major, and it feels so sweet. There's our E. Yep. Yeah, there's our other chord. And our A, probably D, maybe G. Yeah. Yeah. So that sounds pretty much like our first chord sequence again. Yeah, I can keep hold of that chord sequence just fine. So I don't know why. Well, the other ones are moving faster, they're moving more erratically, so the harmonic rhythm is not quite the same each bar, and they are going to, I would say, more unusual places, whereas this, moving down, I've heard that plenty of times. I wouldn't say I've heard that going to this very often, but I can hear what the change is there. And then this to this is quite unusual. But then these are very straightforward chord sequences or chord changes. So maybe that's why it's so much easier to pin down. I would say, yeah, these chord sequences, these chord changes that we've got here probably are more likely to occur in music other than this. And that gives them a homely feel that the other sections don't really have. The other sections are like exploring space at light speed, whereas this is feeling like landing our ship on a lovely beach back on our glass planet that we're familiar with. But the texture is totally different, isn't it? If you don't remember, let's see. That's what we started with, and this is what we've got here. So we've got coming through on the, I don't know what that is, a synthesizer of some variety, but it sounds softer, it sounds a little bit fizzy, it's got some of that noise little bit of distortion to it, but yeah, it's a very sweet sound. Got some bass. We haven't got much moving stuff. The bass is just holding us to F sharp, interestingly. And yeah, those acoustic guitars plucking those notes, something like that. And a strum through on that first chord, which is, oh, okay. So we've got an F sharp major 7 there. And that, yeah. That's really interesting. Yeah, because the D there would be a D7 if it was an E chord, but it doesn't really commit to the E chord. And it comes to the C sharp, which is in the F sharp that's being with the F sharp chord that's being held by the bass. So yeah, we're occupying a space between moving chords and keeping the same chord that is unusual. It doesn't happen like that very often. Yeah, just one, and then sudden wail of the guitar. Oh, satisfying. And then we're into shoegaze territory with the wall of noise that's happening here. Yeah, it's very it's like even deaf heaven, really. Yeah. Oh, really nice. Yeah, what's that then? I guess yeah, a B major chord, B major 9 maybe. Yeah, A minor 7, A sharp minor 7, and that has a ring of a major dominant 7th chord, but I think there is a minor 7th in there as well. So this is actually, yeah, it's maybe absent, and that's why I can't make up my mind about which it is. This chord sequence has happened in the chorus before, and it is happening in the same way, but it's clearer now. Maybe because the melody is simpler when it's just up on that guitar. Feels like there's not just the guitar doing that, but maybe some chorused vocals doing that top line. I'm not sure about that. It might just be a really, really thick wall of reverb. But there's a voice emerging out of it, though. Just to finish off that chorus and leave us on that G major 7 sharp 11, add sharp 11. What's that? No. Nice, good set of chords. Something like that. Anyway, F sharp, D sharp minor 7, C sharp dominant 7, B major 7, and then like A 6/9 chord. Yeah. It's a nice place to end it. It's an unexpected place to end it, and there's been a lot of unexpected harmonic movement in there. So calling it cul-de-sac is very funny because I mean, it might be lyrically make lots of sense, but we'll ignore that for this analysis. But it really feels like we have a billion roads that we have gone down here, and okay, we have often come to the same place, but we haven't even ended in the same place as anywhere that we were on previously. So if this is a road, it's certainly not ending at a cul-de-sac with this chord. It's ending somewhere where we can quite easily move back where we were. We can move to somewhere entirely different. Yeah, a strange situation with that one. Okay, well, we have managed to make it through probably what is side 1 of this album. That said, side 2, if so, looks a little bit longer. What with this 9:49 over here, that's going to be fun. Comatose. Nonetheless, I have to leave it there because that's 2 hours of real intense brain workout. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you soon for the other half, as soon as I can manage. Alright, see ya, bye.